No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. If you want to check my shape on it, let's do push-ups together, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do.
It is important that Iowa and Nevada have spoken, but look.
Get your words straight, Jack.
I'm Jill Biden's husband, and I work for Cedric Richmond. Are you joking?
No. You're too old to go for it.
Granddaughters not only love their dads, their grandpops, they always like them, and that's the great thing. Thank you, baby.
Welcome to Roundtable Decision. I'm your host, Wyatt Birkenoff. And before I get into today's video, I first wanted to quickly thank The Sun and their YouTube channel for that amazing intro you watched. I decided to include most of it in the beginning of today's video, just because I found it super funny and a good way to start off the video and to start off the topic. But the topic of my video today is, will I think that Joe Biden will face Trump in a presidential debate? Will Trump debate, or will Biden debate Trump in a presidential debate? I mean, I guess could Trump debate Biden? But I think more importantly, the emphasis falls on Biden, as I'll talk about in a little bit in this article. We all know that Biden is an older gentleman. Even though Trump is older, I do think Biden shows his age a lot more than Trump does. And he's been stuttering a lot. Sometimes he just seems very hard to understand, and sometimes can't even say a couple of sentences, let alone a sentence right, as you saw in the intro of this video, and as you'll see in other clips throughout the YouTube channel, or without this YouTube video. And I know you've known some of the hilarious Joe Biden gaffes and things he said, especially in that presidential debate where he said to keep punching at the issue, referring to women and domestic abuse within relationships. So it's all very, very funny. And so I decided that I would, to start the video topic, I just searched Joe Biden and Donald Trump presidential debate, and Election Central and other websites came up with information about when the next debate might be, despite COVID-19 being rather rapid, and especially very rapid within the news cycle. And they came up with these dates, with Thursday, September 29th of 2020, of course, being the first presidential debate at the University of Notre Dame, or Notre Dame. And then the vice presidential debate would be the month after, in October 7th, at the University of Utah. The second presidential debate at the University of Michigan on October 15th. And then the third presidential debate being on October 22nd, a Thursday, at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. And it had more information about how to get tickets and where live streams might occur from this debate. But I was just relatively thinking about how the debate structure might work. So far, the debate would most likely, if it were to happen now, would be online debate, or like a Zoom type of setting where Joe Biden and Trump wouldn't physically be there in person, compared to what the debate was, or the last debate we watched from the Democrats, when it was Joe Biden versus Bernie Sanders, where there was only two of them on the debate stage, 6 feet apart. And it looked rather odd, but it still served as meeting in person and kind of a vital part to debates, as you have to see the other person and have to react to what they are doing. So I don't think that an online version of debates is going to work. And as you'll see later in this video, Joe Biden isn't really the best with online anything relating to his campaign and how he uses online media, as he is an older gentleman, and he's kind of like my dad's set of grandparents, where they are not very prone with technology. They get rather confused. And I'll talk on that whole topic a little bit later if the debates were to be online. And the big factor was, well, do I think that Joe Biden will face Donald Trump in a debate? Does he really want to do that? Is that smart for his campaign? And I found several quotes and videos of Joe Biden, and I decided I would play this one for you, and you can kind of see in his words, will he face Donald Trump?
I'm going to beat this man like a drum. I'm telling you, I can hardly wait to debate him. I want to debate him about corruption. Talk about corruption. This is the most corrupt president we've ever had in American history. So I can hardly wait, Brian. I'm not going to play his game. I'm not going to get into the idea of whether or not I have to defend anything.
Context is very important. So that video was about Hunter Biden and the big allegations that Trump, along with other media members, were making against Hunter Biden, and the corruption that Joe Biden and Hunter Biden most likely were doing in relating to the situation of Russia and other countries. And we all know about that as it made huge news. I don't so much hear about it anymore, but that is what Joe Biden was referencing on the first couple questions to that video clip. And then he later went on to talk about that he is more than willing to face Donald Trump in the debate. So off of that, I was thinking, is that necessarily a smart idea for Joe Biden? And will Joe Biden face Donald Trump in the debate? And this is where I was going to talk more about Joe Biden's as a person and as his ability to debate someone like Donald Trump. We all know Donald Trump, regardless if you like Donald Trump or not, but he is very bullish and almost a bully when it comes to politics, as hence the word bullish. He's going to get his way no matter what, and he is going to be very vicious about it. He's not afraid to say bad words against you, not in so much bad words and cussing words, but bad words against your character. And Joe Biden, throughout many debates, even though he didn't get attacked too much by other Democrats, is very much a person that doesn't like his character getting attacked. And he tends to get his most furious when it happens. And you all know clips of Joe Biden when he gets super riled up and gets furious. Sometimes they're actually really good in some of his most strongest speeches, but most of the time he ends up choking on his own words and repeating things or just saying things that don't really make too much sense. And I think Trump could easily take advantage of this with Joe Biden. And Joe Biden isn't necessarily in super great health either. As we've all seen, Joe Biden and Sleepy Joe meme references are just Sleepy Joe references in general with politics. And you saw that most recently with the Hillary Clinton town hall, where Hillary Clinton went out and endorsed Joe Biden. And in parts of that video clip, it would almost seem like Joe Biden was kind of falling asleep as she was talking. And I'll play that for you now, just in case if you lived under a rock and haven't seen the video before.
For me, this is a moment that we need a leader, a president like Joe Biden. I also know a lot about Joe, the person. I've seen him up close and personal now for many years. We have a lot of the same values in common, the same work ethic, the same belief in America, the same focus on family, and we share.
Sleepy Joe does not help Joe Biden's career and what he wants to do with his campaign. I remember the first time I saw this clip of Joe Biden almost physically looking like he was starting to fall asleep before he heard a word, and he went, whoo, whoo, oh, I need to respond to that, when it was either about Joe Biden's character or about what he has done with the great former President Obama. So that was a very interesting thing that a lot of people have talked about Joe Biden with being him being kind of sleepy or him seeming very old, because he is obviously an older gentleman. Or gentleman may be a strong word, but an older person. And that brings me to my next point. Does Joe Biden necessarily have enough energy or enough mental state to go up against Trump? Trump is a very hard person to go up against, because he's someone who has a very strong mind and someone who doesn't want to be his character to be attacked at all. Similar to Joe Biden in that way. But President Trump is much more aggressive with firing back. And President Trump wouldn't be afraid to put Joe Biden in his place when going up against the debate. And I'm not sure Joe Biden has enough energy or enough mental state to necessarily go with it. And Joe Biden and all his online stuff and tweets and virtual videos on his YouTube channel are all trying to make him seem more relatable to the youthful crowd that the Democrats are trying to get, such as the college crowd that Senator Bernie Sanders has done super well with getting to vote for him with free college. But Joe Biden in his online videos and online virtual realities, what I'm about to get into, doesn't really help Joe Biden's state. And I think this is directly related to debates, because this is showing how Joe Biden is going about his presidential campaign. And I don't really see him wanting to go against Trump person to person or in a live scenario. Could I see Joe Biden trying to go up against him in more of a technical aspect, basically on computer to computer and not in person? Maybe so, but I don't know if that's necessarily the way that these debates are going to go. And I don't think that Joe Biden has enough mental state to necessarily go up against Trump in a way that would make Joe Biden look good, as we can see from numerous examples with his virtual reality and technical issues going wrong. Obviously, they're probably not all related to Joe Biden, as Joe Biden isn't the one behind the tech, or you wouldn't think would be, because he doesn't know how to use it through various examples that I'm going to show. But you would think somebody of Joe Biden's status, former vice president, would have somebody on a technical team to make sure that this were to go, even though it is tech, as perfectly as possible. We all know through watching live streams, or maybe even live streaming yourself, there is a lot of technical aspects that you have to rely on, and connections, and especially if you're trying to get multiple people through like a Zoom meeting type of scenario to talk with each other. And that's very hard to do. But you would think somebody of Joe Biden's status would be able to get it done, and it just doesn't seem to be the case. And I'll show these video clips and the disaster, what happened from his virtual reality, and how I think that's hurting Joe Biden's image and Joe Biden's status for as far as being the person to go up against Donald Trump. And I'll conclude with my final thoughts and my theory to what might happen for these presidential debates, and if I do think that Joe Biden will be willing to go up against Trump, as this is the topic of the video. And although I've repeated myself some, it's a very interesting component, because I do think that Joe Biden is a person who really wants to go up against Trump and thinks he can go up against Trump. But at the same time, a lot of people know how bad Trump can be with his words, and they don't think that Joe Biden is necessarily going to do good by doing it. But before I get ahead of myself, I'll play these video clips and you can kind of see what I'm talking about from there.
Please welcome the chair of the Florida Democratic Party, Terry Rizzo.
Terry, you're on. Anytime, Terry.
I am so proud to see my friend Joe Biden as our nominee for president joining.
To lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance from Jesuit High School, please welcome Jack Kirk.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
Welcome Florida State Senator Janet Cruz. Please welcome Florida State Senator Janet Cruz.
Hi, Janet.
Please welcome former Governor Congressman Charlie Crist.
Good to see you. Thank you all.
Please welcome Vice President Biden.
Introduce me. Alan? Hey, good evening.
I don't know about you, but I laughed really hard when I first discovered those video clips on Don't Walk Run's YouTube channel. And just a quick side note, I would highly suggest you checking out his content as well, especially if you're a fan of political commentary and kind of sarcastic type of views on politics as a whole, and somebody that definitely aligns more with conservative values than any other values out there. And his content is always really good and makes me laugh most of the time. But going back to the video and those video clips, I do think that they clearly show that Joe Biden doesn't really know exactly what he wants to do with his campaign yet. And as I say that, Joe Biden's only purpose right now is to be the Democrats' nominee. Now, technically, he doesn't have it fully won yet, but everything is suggesting that he's going to. And for the purpose of this video, I'm going to say that he does have the D next to his name when going up against Trump. But he's putting everything into these virtual realities, and it doesn't look like he has much of a tech crew, if any tech crew at all, and that's kind of what Don't Walk Run Productions was talking about as well in his whole video. Again, I'll have it linked in my description. But it's rather interesting for the fact that if you putting all your effort onto this and it went that poorly, and you're still kind of stuttering, although it was technical issues as well, but he's still stuttering in general when daily conversation. And you can see that in almost any YouTube clip of Biden or any interview with Biden, he doesn't really speak super well all the time, or any sort of time for that fact. And in the presidential debates, he had his good moments and he had his bad moments against Democrats. But they didn't really go as hostile as we know Donald Trump will go against Joe Biden. So if I were Joe Biden and I had to make the decision if I was going to go up against Trump, I would do everything in my power to not go up against Trump if I was Joe Biden. Because I don't think it's going to look good for his outlook or anything at all. If anything, it's going to make Joe Biden look even weaker than a lot of people see him as looking already. Especially since he can't figure out how to live stream when he's a presidential candidate. Although live streaming leads to many technical issues, and don't get me wrong on that, and still, as someone who's Joe Biden, it's somebody who is going for president of the United States. You would think you would have it figured out. And the fact that he doesn't makes me think that Joe Biden and his image really needs to get repaired. And if I was Joe Biden, I wouldn't want to repair it through a debate with Donald Trump because I don't see it going well. But then again, Joe Biden in his own head probably would see the debate as going well, as he'll be the stronger, more open-minded candidate. Trump will be vicious and attack everything he says and attack everything the monitors say. Well, Joe Biden will be more stable and more of a mild approach to politics in general. And that could be his way of saying, look at me, I'm more moderate than Donald Trump. I'm more civil than Donald Trump. I am a better candidate than Donald Trump through his debate with him. But then again, I don't really see that necessarily going away. People don't really watch debates for the person who's being most civil, most polite, or Andrew Yang would have went a lot further since he didn't really like to intrude on other people's spaces. But rather, Kamala Harris, even though she left kind of early, or a better example might be Elizabeth Warren, where they are not afraid to jump in and attack another person and what they said, similar to what Elizabeth Warren did against Pete Buttigieg when he was talking about campaign fundraisers, and Elizabeth Warren brought up the wine cellar moment that became really popular on Twitter and really popular between political commentators and check marks on Twitter, and it was just a whole ordeal that was almost a viral moment of the debate. And Elizabeth Warren did that by jumping in and not really using her turn in the debate stage. And we already have seen Vice President Joe Biden be very polite on the debate stage several times, saying, "Oh, I see my time's about out," or "Oh, the candidates aren't following their time." President Trump isn't going to care about the dang clock. He's going to have to make them shut up. And Joe Biden isn't one to do that. So he's going to look vicious and he's going to look alpha male on the stage. And when people listen to debates and look at who had the biggest impact, they look at who had the most impact through being the alpha male, through dominating the debate. And President Trump is going to be that figure almost 100% of the time. And that's very big and will have a huge scar on Joe Biden's status as the presidential candidate. So I don't see any way where Joe Biden would want to go up against Donald Trump in a presidential debate. But at the same time, by not going into the presidential debate also could make Joe Biden appear as weak. So I don't know if he necessarily has a choice on if he's going to go against Trump in a presidential debate. And I would love if you comment in the videos or comment on my Discord or Twitter about your thoughts on if you think Joe Biden will go against Donald Trump in a presidential debate. See you next time.